I want to share something with you that I believe is very important, significant, and could be a landmark moment. We're going to be meeting on the evening of May the 20th at the Humble Civic Center, open to the public. And the significance of this is because 25 years ago, on May 20th, the year 2000, there was a gathering in which I was a speaker, and after me was Derek Prince. When Derek Prince got up, he said something so profound that it resonated with all of us that were there and became a very significant moment that I believe really marked many of us. It affirmed and confirmed some of the things we were doing with our Somebody Cares chapters and affiliates and centers and partners and organizations that we work with around the world. And that was about being the tangible expression of Christ, that we would touch God's heart. And when we touch God's heart, he would move his hand. And we've been praying for revival and awakening. But oftentimes, to reach the hardened of heart and the hardened of mind, the stubborn of mind, is to touch them with the tangible expression of Christ's love for them that opens them up for the gospel, the good news. And so when Derek Prince got up after me, he said if he had to do it all over again, he would have emphasized more the importance of discovering God's heart for the needy, the orphans, the widows, the poor, and the oppressed. It so moved us, and it really did mark us and affirm to us that we were on the right track. In fact, I was talking to Dick, who was the former president of Derek Prince Ministries, and will be with us on this May 20th, 2025, 25 years after that landmark moment. In the Humble Civic Center, we will be meeting again. And also Gary Wilkerson, the son of the late David Wilkerson, will be with us. We believe it's an important gathering as we look at the landmarks of the past, talk about the movements of the past, bring them to the context of where we are today so we have direction and bearing for where we're going today and tomorrow. There's something about building on those foundations. And there's such a connection. The Humble area, the Humble Houston area, has deep-rooted connections with moves of God of the past that we want to talk about and will help catapult us into continue to reach nations of the world. Those movements did touch nations, but I believe God wants to do something fresh today. I remember what Leonard Ravenhill used to tell me. He said, Doug, Jesus said that the laborers are few, but the harvest is plentiful. And he says, and the truth is that the laborers are still too few, and the harvest is still plentiful. I believe this is a moment where we can gather together with these everyday heroes that work 365 days a year all across this nation as they gather in Houston with us in Humble, Texas, and especially on May the 20th, 25-year anniversary from that landmark moment, we'll gather again this year. I'm inviting all of you to come. You have a heart for revival, a heart for leaning into legacy, a heart to build on foundations already laid, because there have been sacrifices made, foundations laid, the price has been paid for us to enter into. This is a moment for multi-generational prophetic ministry or prophetic generation to move together to see God move in a powerful way. We've seen movies like the Jesus Revolution. We've read the stories. We've talked about and read about and sang about revivals of the past. Let's be a part of revival. Let's enter into what God's called us to impact our generation. Because something I remember that Dick from Derek Prince Ministries told me. He said that there were 3 things that their ministry was emphasizing before Derek Prince passed. In fact, Derek Prince passed 2.5 years after we were together in the year 2000 on May the 20th. 1, their ministry emphasis when Derek Prince was alive was teach the untaught. And number 2 was reach the unreached. But the third that was a part of his heart and he really wanted to see happen was touch the untouched. That is what we need to do today. And together we can be in word and deed a tangible expression of Christ in our generation so that we can see something even greater than the Jesus Revolution, greater than Youthquake that was simultaneous, that was happening in Houston, that touched nations of the world at the same time when the Jesus Revolution was going on. There's so much rich heritage right here. The nations will be gathered with us on May 19th and 20th, but culminating on the evening of the 20th in the Humble Civic Center on May the 20th, 2025. Join us 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. as we gather together to worship together, to reflect together, lean into legacy together, and begin to hear the heart of God to commission us to go make a difference in our generation. I hope you're there. Let us know you're coming because we have limited seating, but I'd love to have you there and love to pray together and believe God for all we've been crying out for. It's time. It's time, Houston. Give us Houston. Give us the nations. And if God shows up in this city, in this region, from Humble, Houston area, if God touches this place that has the most diverse city in America with the most languages spoken, it's an international city. If God shows up and suddenly, just what would happen? The gospel would go forth to the nations of the world. Just like Acts chapter 2, in a moment, in a suddenly moment, God touched nations because the nations were there. In a moment, God could touch us right here in the Humble, Houston area in a moment that would literally touch nations. Join us May the 20th, 25-year anniversary of the time that Derek Prince and I were speaking in the Humble Civic Center this May 20th, Tuesday night, 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. Join us. Agree together with us, and let's see God move in a more powerful way than we could have ever imagined.